wood fire stove, popularly known as japa, cow dung, charcoal, as well as agricultural residue, have powered cooking in African countries, especially sub-Saharan African countries, from time immemorial. However, clean energies for cooking could go a long way to save our lives as well as protect our ecology. Hi guys, welcome to yet another episode. It's always a good and a great experience to stand behind these cameras and give you a visual or a video representation of one or two articles that I've read or researched that I have done. If you are new to this channel, hi, my name is MFI and I film all-around content here on my channel as well as anything sustainable. Please subscribe and also don't forget to hit that notification button below so you are the first to know anytime I upload something new to this channel. Last week I did a video on the challenges Africa was facing in implementing sustainable development goals. I did get a lot of positive feedback and I'm very grateful. For others who stated that the video was quite boring and I had to put in a lot of energy and make it more vibrant. I hope you see those changes in subsequent videos of mine. In today's video, I will be discussing a topic that is gaining so much ground in our African society, specifically that of sub-Saharan African societies. And it's no other than exploring the different possibilities and different solutions to clean cooking in Africa. But before anything, we need to know what unclean cooking technologies are and how they deprive us and our environment from survival. Traditional cooking technologies is currently on the rise in African countries. About 700 million people rely on solid biomasses to power their cooking activities, and if this continues, about 900 million people are likely to rely on solid biomasses to power cooking activities. Solid biomasses that makes use of fuel wood, charcoal, cow dung, as well as agricultural residue is used for direct heating and lighting in most African communities and in places that have limited access to electricity. Now, with it being limited, I'm speaking of the availability and the affordability. And even with that, it is highly common to find charcoal as a common fuel for cooking in urban centers. Why is this a problem and how are we seeking to address this challenge? Although solid biomasses are cheap, renewable, and in a way carbon neutral, its mode of exploitation is unsustainable and unfriendly to the environment as well as our health. Solid biomasses causes air pollution and releases other toxic substances into the atmosphere, for instance carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide, among others. Moreover, it contributes to deforestation as we witness people cutting down trees to be used for fuel wood, charcoal, among others. Well, not everybody shares in this thinking because it is assumed that if people could cut down trees to be used as fuel wood, they could equally replant these trees or practice afforestation. Due to this argument, that climate impact has not really been considered over time. But one thing we need to know is that not all people engage in planting or fell trees, and it is equally significant to say that exploiting traditional biomasses for heating and lighting could pose significant challenges to our health, economics, productivity, as well as our environment. Most people die prematurely due to indoor and outdoor pollution. That's not all. Women spend so much time to collecting fuel that deprives them from major productive activity as well as schooling. To address this challenge, government needs to create awareness and a growing consensus on clean cooking technologies, especially in global south countries. People need to know about the growing concerns of respiratory health problems associated with air pollution, and the key partakers of this exercise should be women and children who spend so much time by the fireside or collecting firewood. What is education when government cannot subsidize clean cooking energy technologies? One thing we need to know is that traditional or solid biomasses are cheap and easier to come by as compared to the LPG or even the electric stove. Even with the electric stove, there are so many communities that live without access to electricity. Now, residents in this area will prefer to use affordable forms of fuel wood, charcoal, or even a cow dung for direct heating and lighting. Currently, there is this technology that burns all forms of traditional or solid biomasses and leaves it 95% smokeless. All you need to do is connect the technology to a smartphone and voila, you're done. But then, from a critical point of view, there are so many people living without access to modern electricity. So how are they able to like afford smartphones when they can't afford electricity? But then again, this technology is still under study, and it was established by the CCA, which is the Clean Cooking Alliance. I'm going to leave a link to the publication in my description below so you can read more on this technology. Modern renewables are taking over the world. China is doing well in mixing their energy system, as well as other industrial countries are promising to be carbon neutral and environmentally friendly in their energy sectors. From the little that I have gathered, renewable energies could help alleviate part of the problem. For instance, in Ghana, most of our electricity comes from hydro, but with a growing population and rapid urbanization, we need to expand our energy industry to ensure that we do not face the challenge we are seeking to address today in the future. Africa's role as a significant exporter of energy is decreasing, with overall net exports declining as domestic consumption increases by more than production. Gradually, modern renewables are becoming a thing and becoming cheaper than fossil fuels, as well as replacing fossil fuels. It is my hope that the Africa we are seeking to achieve, or the Africa we are building with the current generation, is the Africa we want in upcoming years. I've come to the end of my presentation. If there is something you are not very clear on, something that I said that you are not very sure about, call me out in the comment section and I would respond. That will be all for now, and I'm hoping to see you in my subsequent videos.